I'm Sundar Hussain and today we'll be talking about JavaScript. It is in the continuation of my previous video which is there in my channel. You can check. Now let's get started. We'll talk about JavaScript syntax. They are the set of rules how JavaScript programs are constructed. If have to write some programs, so we need some syntax to write those program. Now what are JavaScript variables? So JavaScript variables are containers for storing data. Supposedly I have to write my name or I have to write my age or other details. Then these are the data which I have to store. So where will I be storing the data? Obviously for that I need certain variables. So there are 4 methods of defining a variable. One is the automatically, where it can it automatically, and then by using var, let and const. Now we'll see that what are these var, let and const. Then var is the oldest keyword to declare a variable in JavaScript. It has a global scope or function scope. Now what is global scope or function scope? It means the variable defined outside the function can be accessed globally, and variable defined inside a particular function can be accessed within the function. Like the word is saying, global scope. Like global scope means that if I'll define a variable, then it should be accessible throughout the script. Like I can access it throughout the script, like wherever I want to call or wherever I want to where I want to define that variable, it will be as it is, like throughout the script it can be called. And or function scope is like supposedly I am assigning a function, I'm writing a function, that variable, that particular variable will be logging or will be called only inside that particular function. Like you can see in this var global is equal to 10, like it can be called throughout the script, like there is no changes, there is nothing. I can, if I want to call it, if I am keeping it at the first line and I want to call I want to console log this global at the 10th or 20th line, then if I'll be writing that, it will automatically take this global word, or you can say term, and it will log out the value 10 of global. And if I'll talk about local, so local, or you can say function scope. So function scope means that the variable is defined within a function. It can be called within a function itself. Now what is let? Let is an improved version of var keyword. It is introduced in ES6 or ECMAScript 2015. These variables has a block scope. It cannot be accessed outside the particular code or block. Like initially we have said that we have seen that global variable are something which can be called anywhere in throughout the script, but in block scope what happens, it has got certain limitation, or you can say the merits and the merit also. The limitation is that it is only be called, it is defined within a block and it cannot be accessed outside the block. And what is a block? Block is something which is written inside these curly braces. Supposedly it is a function, and in function, which I'll be discussing in the later part of the video, so this is the curly braces. So if I'm going to write any let keyword, and I have to assign this keyword to certain value, then I can only call it inside this particular block. I cannot call this outside that particular block. Now what is a const keyword? It has all the properties, like you can see it has all the properties which were seen in the let keyword, and it was defined in ECMAScript ES6 ECMAScript 2015. But the only difference, it has a block scope also, but difference is, like you can see, it's a const. So const means constant, like the value which comes under const, it cannot be changed throughout the script. Like you have n number of lines of codes, and if you have already defined that particular value, then you cannot change the value until and unless you don't change the const keyword. Supposedly there is a value of pi, so pi value is 3.14. So if you want to assign this value, then obviously you will be using const keyword, so that throughout the script, because obviously we know that we cannot change the constants, so if I have to keep the value of const or pi, then I should use const keyword, because if I'll be using var and let keyword, then it can be rewrite or it can be modified. So for certain these values, we have to have this const keyword. It has also the block scope. Now we'll be talking about what exactly is global scope and block scope. So I'll tell you through few. Yeah, so if you can see what exactly global scope is. So supposedly I have assigned a value of fruit banana in the var variable. So var variable is global. If I'm going to run the code, then I'll get this answer. Like if logging console log, I'll be getting the first fruit name. And if what is a function scope, it is a function. If I'm going to console log the name of the fruit within the function, and then I have to call this function, then I'm going to get this value as banana. So it is function scope and this is global scope. Now the other one, in which I have defined block scope and function scope both. Supposedly there is a function called foo, and there are the fruits name, like fruit 1, fruit 2 and fruit 3. So we know that var has a global scope or function scope, and const and let has only block scope. So var fruit 1 is apple. So supposedly if I have to console log fruit 1. If I have to console log fruit 1, so var has function scope, so the answer will come. It is going to give the result as fruit 1. But if I have to console log const and let, then the answer, or you can say the result, will not come. Why? Because it has come out from its block. It is the block and it has come out of its block. So if it has come out of its block, then obviously it cannot be accessed or called. Like the answer or the result will be this. Like in the first, the result apple will come, and in the second and third, error will come because it is a block scope. Like it will come that fruit 2 is not defined. It will say it is not defined.